What's up, guys? MHhauser321 here, playing some Jackal for the NES, and we are on part 2 of my Let's Play, or playthrough, or whatever you want to call it. We are on the Swampland level, one of the harder levels, but not the most difficult by far. If you want to know what most of this stuff is, the score, the lives, and the continues, and all the different intricacies of the game, then you might want to watch the episode before this. I explained a lot of that stuff in that episode. This episode is going to be more about strategy and getting to these last levels and how to do it. This level I actually do save the POWs. It's not very hard to get to the helipad. The level before I didn't. I just burned and, or what do you call that, run and gun through the whole thing. The boss on this level, I would say it's probably the third hardest boss, I'd say. That makes sense. So a lot of cool scenery in this level. Right here is a train. You can see it real fast coming up behind me, but I destroy it. That's something different. You don't see that in every game. Little train moving along. Kind of looks a little 2D right there with the hole it's going into, but they tried, so I'll give them props for that. Looks alright. I actually really do like this game. The enjoyment for me came out of the challenge. It's not an easy game. Playing it through the first time, you'll learn that you may be able to get halfway through, but you're not going to be able to beat the game. And that's what I enjoyed about it, was like learning everything and getting better at it, you know? And sometimes people hate that stuff about games, like you don't want to start a game with a learning curve this high, really. I wouldn't recommend it to people who just like started picking up NES games. It's pretty difficult. But I would recommend it to maybe more experienced players. This is the boss of level 4, right? Yeah. It's a helicopter. I don't know if it's giant or not. It looks giant to me. But the strategy I employ here is the slow and steady strategy. I only shoot him once when he comes into frame. You know, you could shoot him multiple times and hit him probably, but you have to dodge his attacks each time, and they are pretty accurate when he shoots them at you. He knows where you're at. He gets them pretty close. So if you're not dodging correctly and you're trying to shoot him, you might get hit. I think he only takes like 4 or 5 hits, and I just gun down these little dudes. He pops out when they're little parachutes every time. I like this boss. I never really pictured him as much of a challenge until I learned before I thought he was hard, but then I learned my slow go strategy, and he was pretty easy. It's a little, yeah, that's us. Now we're on to the last 2 levels of the game, 5 and 6. The difficulty does go up very high for these last 2 levels, so especially this level, there's a lot more enemies. The next level, there is a ton more enemies, but there's also some harder things, you know, different sorts of areas they put you in. They introduce a lot more homing missiles in the last level. I will save the POWs on this level, and I'll show you guys how to get to there without dying. It's pretty easy. It's just a slide to the right, and all you have to do is run and gun as opposed to slow killing him. If you try the slow strategy, you'll probably die. There's a lot of shit you gotta avoid at that helipad. But this level is difficult, and I do employ you to not give up. I gave up probably a couple times when I first started playing this game. Like, I'm never gonna beat that. But eventually, after enough times, I beat it. Or enough practice, I beat it. This right here is a little choke spot, and they've got 2 guns here, and you do, in my mind, you do have to destroy them. When you go through the choke spot, they send a tank at you that fires a spot right through it, and when you go through again, they send more tanks, so it's like you gotta kind of go into it slowly and come back and avoid their spray and stuff. Okay, that's one thing I didn't really explain, is a whole lot of the enemies. We've got these types of turrets. They've got that turret right there. There's ones that shoot fast, ones that shoot slow. They got the red tanks, which are like the basic level tank. They're not very hard to kill. They only shoot like 2 shots at you. You got the little enemies that shoot bazookas at you. I just call them bazooka guys. You've got a gray tank, which shoots like multiple shots at you, and they're like look like black cannonballs. And then right there was a fire tank, which shoots flames at you. You got the kamikaze guys. You've got a lot of objects in the game that are just like falling on you, like rocks and shit like that in the last level. I think that's most of the main enemies. That right there, you saw one that's a mine. You don't see those very often. Well, I guess you do. They're in like at least 3 of the 6 levels. Right here's the helipad strat, and I just kind of curve to the right and avoid everything. I don't even fire. I just go straight through all the enemies to the helipad, and then I kill everything, because you can kill everything easier from up here. Oh yeah, and also there's a bombing run airplane that can attack you while you do this, so you have to kill it every time. The boss in this level is a defense system. I mean, it's not like an actual thing. It's a wall with turrets on it. So like 1 was 4 tanks, 2 was what was 2? Shoot. 2 was the Medusa heads, or the homing missile heads, and 3 was the boat. This is, those are kind of things you can, tangible things like an object, or they might be being controlled by somebody. This is kind of just like a turret system that's out there defending this area. That's the way I think of it, at least. It could be unmanned, maybe not. But this is the boss, and the way to defeat it is to kill the turrets first, then you've got to kill the garages, and then you can go through the door and you finally beat the level. Now the garages dump out enemies, so you have to be careful. Watch out for the enemies while you're killing everything else. And it is pretty hard. It takes a while to get used to the strategies. I run up and kill these 2 first, and then I either go right or left and kill the ones on the far right. Now right here I die. It's really sad. I kill 1 tank, and then I kill 2 tanks, 3 tanks, 4 tanks, and then the 5th one gets me. Or maybe it was the 6th one, whatever. I just killed a lot of enemies there, and I still died. It pissed me off. You just gotta remember to clear out the enemies before they get, they can pile up into too much, is what it is basically. Once you get too many enemies, you'll be dead. So now that I've killed all the turrets on the wall, I can kill these garages, and you can see you just wait for them to open, and you shoot at the right time, and they explode. That's pretty much this boss. Once you kill all those garages, that electrical shit will go down, and you can get through the wall. So I don't understand how you wouldn't be able to destroy the wall with a little bit of electricity going through it, but you can now. So I don't want to go into game logic anyways. And there's all the 4 characters saying, "We're here, we finally made it." And now the final level. Now, my original strat after playing this game for a while for this level was to run and gun, which means not stopping, just killing everything in my path and going from point A to B as fast as possible. When I got to this point with only 3 lives though, I thought maybe since I've gotten this far in my recording, I should try to get some more lives so I can have an extra chance at the last boss. And the way to get more lives is to score more points, so I started saving POWs for points. And I realized rather quickly that if you try to catch all the POWs in this level and save them, it is kind of hard. It's actually really hard, because it is the last level and all. And so what I did was I die and I just give up on my strategy and I just go back to my old strategy, which seems to work. See, I die right here, stupidly. I was like, screw it, I'm going to run a gun and I'm going to do what I've been doing and make it to the boss and give it at least 1 go. And this takes a lot of practice, to be honest. I die here another time, it was stupid. I usually don't die in that corner, but whatever. At this point, I'm really mad. I'm like, come on, I just want to get to the last boss while it's being recorded and not, and kill him. But right here, I'll use this strat, and I get the run and gun strat again. And you just gotta know where everything is by playing it a bunch of times to be able to do it. I knew that kamikaze guy was there, and I knew this little gun was here coming up, so I know what to do to be able to get through it real fast. You're going to see a helicopter enemy here that's really annoying. They shoot pretty accurate shots at you. Sometimes they just fly off the screen like that. Sometimes they circle around and shoot at you again. But this part right here is probably the second hardest part in the game besides the last boss. This rocket homing missile will fire at you, and you have to turn and kill it real fast while you're going through this conveyor belt, and then you gotta turn and kill that guy if he comes. Just a lot of bullshit. And now I have made it to the final boss. There's 2 parts to him, and the first part's a turret part that you just kind of spam, and the second part you will see in the next part of the video. And I'm going to end it right here and make the last section all about the last boss. and the finale to the game. So thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned. As always, comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think. And later.